Well, two top Republicans are subpoenaing the FBI for a document they say outlines an unspecified criminal scheme involving President Biden. An FBI whistleblower apparently claims they have seen evidence that allegedly shows President Biden taking money from a foreign country for policy decisions during his time as vice president. Now, the FBI has until next Wednesday to hand over the documents in question. The White House calling these allegations unfounded, unproven political attacks from Republicans. Listen to what GOP Senator Rick Scott had to say in response.
Why don't the Biden family, why wouldn't they want to get the facts out? If they've done nothing wrong, say, hey, look, this is what our relationship was. This is how we worked. This is how we got paid. There's nothing wrong here. But everything seems to be, they hide. So there has to be something wrong there.
All right, we are bringing in Michael Schnell now, congressional reporter with our partner, The Hill. Michael, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So it seems like we are waiting for a lot more details to come down, but what stands out to you about these allegations today?
Natasha, what stands out to me most is the fact that this is targeting President Biden directly. Now, on the campaign trail, congressional Republicans, specifically House Republicans, they had been very clear that if they were to take back the majority in November, they would use their investigative power to go after President Biden. Now, since taking control of the House back in January, Republicans have used their investigative powers to target Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, to go after associates of the Biden family. But really, these probes have not focused on President Biden specifically. Now, obviously, that all changed yesterday with Comer and Chuck Grassley subpoenaing the FBI for this document that alleges a scheme between then Vice President Biden and a foreign national. Now, as you mentioned in your intro, there is still a lot to be learned about what's actually in that document, about what this whistleblower has to say. But nonetheless, it's significant because it's an escalation in Comer's investigation into the Biden family overall, targeting the president specifically.
Any indication of how credible these allegations may be at this point?
Right now, no, because we're still waiting for this information, right? As you mentioned, the letter and the subpoena uses the word allegedly a number of times. Comer and Grassley have just said that they learned about this from a whistleblower, and this information is part of what's called an FD-1023 form, which includes information that is used to document information the FBI obtains from sources. It can include unverified information. So there's still a lot to be learned, and we're still waiting to see what specifically is in that document. But a big question is, will congressional Republicans be able to obtain that information? Obviously, there's a subpoena out now to the FBI. The FBI has not indicated whether or not it plans to comply with that subpoena. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you mentioned Congress asking to see these documents. How likely is that to happen?
That is another question that remains to be seen. Obviously, a congressional subpoena is an important thing, and if the FBI were not to comply with that, there would be repercussions, and then there could be steps that Congress can take to try to compel the FBI's cooperation. But again, as you mentioned, the FBI has until next week to hand over these documents. They're specifically asking for any FD-1023 documents that were created or modified in June of 2020 that include the name, that include Biden within. So they still have some time to hand things over. I don't want to jump the gun in any way, but we'll have to see if the FBI complies, and then we'll have to see what is actually contained in this document.
Okay, Michael Schnell from The Hill, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.